Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's make a quick video, obviously on XRP, but before that, obviously because the rest of the markets are still looking pretty weak and tired, we might as well reference those first because there's no chart which can operate in a vacuum. Obviously, there is no one chart out there which can go up indefinitely while everything else goes down when it's all correlated into one giant massive financial machine. So we'll start with the S&P just very briefly. After that, we'll call it a dead cat bounce for now. The dead cat bounce from the 200 exponential into the 10 exponential, and now we're going back down again. So it does, to be honest, look like we're going to come down for another retest, if not a double bottom attempt. Maybe this time we'll go a little lower to the 200 simple moving average, which is 5,063. Maybe the 200 exponential 5,100 gets it again, or maybe this bottom of the Bollinger Band gets it, where this yesterday's candle body is, which is basically now. So there is opportunity for bounce and still opportunities for V-shaped recovery from these levels on the stock market. Now, again, just to reiterate, there's many reasons why this might just break through here, and it's not particularly present on the chart, but there are many reasons why we might feel like that is the case. Black swans, I'm talking about black swans, black swans. There is no indicator to tell you about a black swan. And if there is, just let me know about it, all right? Okay, so, and briefly, just the 4 hourly to see if there's anything on the 4 hour that's offering anything at all. No. Nothing more than a death cross, a small break outside of that Bollinger Band, basically faded shortly after, and now back down below all moving averages again. So again, looking at the candle bodies, that 5,168. That could be the next area for a bounce. Other than that, it's going to be those areas that we've suggested. Now, looking at Bitcoin here on the 4 hourly, we've managed to break outside of the 20 and the 21, which is good, and a retest on the last 4 hourly candle body here on the 21 exponential. So to me, it looks like it's going to make a run up to 59,000, which is the 50 exponential moving average. And if for whatever reason everything decides to look rosy again, we'll go for the full-on death cross retest all the way up to 62,300. So, it does look quite good. I have to say, there's no bearish divergence on the RSI. There is on the money flow index, but not on the RSI. So I would be looking at this as an attempt to make its way up to 59,000 today. And then maybe through the weekend, if nothing happens, and I'm talking about black swanish type events, if nothing else happens, we should be trying, I reckon, to push up to 62,000, where I would imagine a nice crisp, clear rejection will take place from. Right, now let's get on to the star of the show. Here we are. XRP on the weekly went from the bottom of the bottom of the actual Bollinger Band itself to the top of the Bollinger Band. What a great move that would be. And what's it doing now? Well, it's trying to look like it wants to form a close above the 200 simple moving average on a weekly. So it's been a decent move. I love XRP obviously, and it's funny because on Tuesday I was making my Patreon video. And I remember clearly saying to everybody, again, this is obviously Tuesday night when I was saying this. If someone was to ask me if I had to liquidate everything I owned, absolutely every single thing I owned, right? And the people on the Patreon, please feel free to verify this in the comments. I said if I was to liquefy everything, all my bitcoins, all my altcoins, all my stocks, everything, all my possessions, the lot, every single thing I own, and I was only allowed to buy one crypto, what would it be? It would be XRP. It would be. I gave a variety of reasons for it, but effectively, I feel like XRP has been accumulating for a number of years now, roughly around this 50 cents area, and that to me gives a decent risk to reward. Right, you could see pullbacks into the 30s again, no problem. But you're likely to see pushes up into the dollars, which that is good risk to reward, right? Also, the liquidity is high, so if you're, looking for large numbers going in and out of the order books, XRP will allow that pretty much across most exchanges as well. Even on the smaller exchanges, XRP usually trades pretty well. So yeah, I was saying that on Tuesday, and look at where we are now. Unbelievable, isn't it? Really. Anyway, I will when I get home. I'm going to make a much bigger, more in-depth and I do these every few months, I suppose, a view on XRP, but I am still very bullish on it generally over time. And now that we've had this court ruling, they get to, they have a fine of a bit of pocket change, which is 160 million or something. It's nothing compared to what it could have been. So XRP out of the woods. Now, as a response to that that fine that they got, we have had a nice little pump. It's only little. It's not enough to change chart structure. Again, in this environment right now, it's sell the news, isn't it? Really. So I would imagine that everything comes back down to to a stable area. But for the moment, based on XRP's current existence, it's looking pretty good. We still have a golden cross, which, while being above these 200 exponential on the daily, 54 cents is only going to start diverging and offers the very realistic possibility of a trend forming on the daily, and an early trend as well. So if you were to see another pullback to 54 cents, which is what I was saying over here, it says nice move on XRP, a nice move. If you get a pullback into 54 cents, it would be a buy. Yeah, it was a buy that ended with with a little bit of tears, but now look, everyone is up. I got some family members that I had limit orders down at 54 and 48 actually, and they'll be pretty happy with me if I tell them in the morning. Well, I'll tell them this morning. Take a look at your portfolio, guys. They'll be pretty happy with that. Anyway, I'm not suggesting this is going to go for an immediate continuation. This is why I referenced the S&P to begin with, because that's the main thing we've got to focus on. S&P still a bit tired, hopefully finding another attempt to bounce and V-shaped recovery above that 200 exponential. And Bitcoin now above that 4-hourly area where we should be looking for a death cross retest. So we should be looking, I think, between today and tomorrow, a little bit higher across the board, which means that XRP should have the freedom to run a little higher itself. Now, the top of the range on XRP is around 65 to 66 cents for the top of this range. Once that's broken, 70, 80, 90, $1.20, it's all on the cards. It can easily happen. But let's face it, this was a move that was born out of a situation, the opposite of a black swan, right? So those who are shorting XRP, obviously, what do you call it? A white swan? I don't know what you want to call it, but basically, wrecked city for the shorts. If XRP can reclaim and build a base above 60, we'll call it 62 cents on a weekly, I would expect this to continue with a trend. Now, I was talking about a month ago, maybe a little more than that, about the rounded bottom that was forming on the XRP to BTC pair. Normally a good way to scrape out some kind of low. We had a lot of bullish divergence leading into that rounded bottom on the money flow index, the RSI, and the MFI. And now we're hitting the 50 exponential moving average on the weekly, which is actually a death cross retest for the Bitcoin pair, for the Bitcoin pair. Sorry. The next level above that is going to be 1,700 sats, 200 simple, and then 200 exponential is 2,164 sats. That is quite a large move given the expectations of the rounded bottom, changing the behavior on Bitcoin pair, and pushing us all the way up there. So look, you'll have to go back in time like a month or so on my videos to see me talk about that. We're always talking about risk to reward. That's all we ever talk about, risk to reward. That's what trading really is about. Are you prepared to allocate at this level? What's the risk versus the reward? If the reward is smaller than the risk, and you really have to have a word with yourself, what's the point of doing that? When you talk about buying XRP when it looks like this, people often will say to me, what are you talking about? Look at the state of it. And I'll say to them back, no, the risk is smaller than the reward. So actually, yes, you've got to imagine what it's going to look like moving forward. Some charts do go down forever. I don't think XRP is going to be one of those charts. Maybe the Bitcoin pair will continue to go down forever over a prolonged period of time. That makes perfect sense because it is still a down-only chart, but that doesn't take away the fact that the risk is smaller than the reward, or it was when we were down here around 700 sats. 300 sats up now, with a view to maybe even push up towards 2,000 sats. So, like I say it over and over again, it's all about risk to reward. Now, if you do push up to this level, expect a massive rejection. That is where we were horrendously rejected all the way over here. A long time ago now, like a year ago. So, and the 200 simple moving average, again, massive push into the 200 simple, massive rejection. So look, these two areas, believe it or not, offer huge rejection. The most important thing to recognize, though, is that if you are holding XRP and you are prepared to hold it for the rest of this cycle, now that the SEC has, I don't know, do you call it a victory or do you declare it a loss? I don't know. They've got a bit of money, so I'm sure they're all right with that. But I mean, XRP is out of the woods when it comes to the legalities of it now. If we build a base above here and clear these moving averages on the Bitcoin pair, we will actually go into an uptrend that you might never have imagined. And XRP could actually be 10xing from here. So, that one Bitcoin or whatever it is that anyone will put in down at these lows, you could be looking at, well, you've got to rewind time now. You've got to go back in time to when I was suggesting it. But, buying that 700 sat zone, you could be looking at getting 10, 15 Bitcoins back if you would have just put one Bitcoin in down at the rounded bottom. That's an enormous return, right? And again, the liquidity in this pair is enormous. So if anybody, wanted to flip Bitcoins and into altcoins and then back again, I strongly believe that XRP was one of the best opportunities to do that and continues to be one of the better opportunities to do that over the next 12 months, especially now more than ever. However, let's be realistic. It's a buy the rumor, sell the news. The news should be getting sold. This pump that we're getting right now is good. It's definitely good. It's good for the bots that I've got running. But it's still not changed the situation on the chart yet. This is still a long way away from confirming a major breakout and an uptrend to dwarf all other uptrends. And the Bitcoin pair has, to me, been the key to the XRP movement over the last few months. And I would imagine it will be the key moving forward to whether or not XRP can return to its former glory of, $3.50. My expectation, I believe it's definitely going to do that. I think it's going to be moving to 5, maybe to 10, maybe even into the teens by the time it's finished. And I don't say that to get clicks. I say that because I believe that to be the case. We're seeing a change of behavior at the moment. This does very much look like a significant low, if not the low. And really, if you're looking for like the major breakout, it will take place above 2,100 sats. And that's not going to happen this week. Right, so I'll leave it with you there. It's a little bit of hoping for you. Whatever happens to XRP over the next few days is likely to be wrecking both the longs and the shorts. The bulls and the bears are all going to get punched in the face with situations like this. This is a volatile pair, believe it or not. It's a volatile crypto. But things are looking good, better than they've looked for a long time now. XRP should be able to return to its former glory of its previous all-time high over the next few years, well, over the next year, and I generally believe that it will double, if not triple or more, from its previous all-time high between now and September 2025. Right, that's all there is to say about that. I'll leave it with you there. Feel free to criticise that. I wouldn't blame you if you did. When I get back home and have access to my computer, like a real computer, not this thing that I'm using today, I will present to you once again the reasons on the chart, only the chart, specifically the chart, why I believe that is going to be the case. Until then, though, good luck trying to trade it. I wouldn't bother trying to trade this. Not now, not after what's happened yesterday. But if you are a hodler like myself and a believer of XRP, then actually this is more than good news. This is really good, and we should be able to complete XRP's specific market cycle, because it does have its own market cycle, believe it or not. It runs parallel to Bitcoin, but it actually operates in a completely different way. And we should be looking for, at some point over the next 12, 13, 14 months, an enormous parabolic move that takes us, I reckon, and I'm not joking, I reckon it will take us into the teens. But until we see a break above these areas, it is just noise. The change of behaviour is true. We are seeing change of behaviour, but we're not seeing breakout and an uptrend. So let's wind our necks back in. It's an exciting morning, I imagine, for anyone who's holding XRP, but it's still not the confirmation to hold up that $14 target and say this is definitely going to happen. It's certainly, we can't say that is a target. And again, when I get home, I will show you the reasons why that is a target. But until then, until we see these areas get broken above, XRP is exactly the same as it was a couple of weeks ago. It's really not much different. If anything, all it's done is made our mornings a little bit brighter than they were over the last few days, or certainly since Monday. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.